Hello friends, welcome to Akulmach Live. I'm Kanchan Verma and today we are taking to a wonderful city of the world. The city is called a city of temples, city of museums, city of churches, and for a traveler it also offers white sand beaches. So stick around to this episode till the end. You will enjoy this discussion and you will get more information. Welcome back, and today again we are taking you to a wonderful city of the world. And to discuss about this city, we have Mr. Sitesh Srivastav, who is a IT professional and senior business consultant. He's very closely related to radio broadcasting also. So, without wasting any further time, I would like to welcome him. Welcome to the show, Sitesh. How are you doing today?
Kanchan, எப்படி இருக்கீங்க Kanchan? மாலை வணக்கம். How are you, Kanchan? How are you?
Vadakkam. I am fine, and I get the cue that we are going to Chennai, I guess, right?
Oh yes, we are going to Chennai on our Akulmach channel, so we can call it our own Chennai Express.
Very well. So, from where we shall begin?
Well, Kanchan, Chennai happened to me few years back, and I live in Bangalore and never thought that I will land up in Chennai and I will actually fall in love with the city, with the culture, with the history, and looking from Chennai upwards toward the vast Indian mainland up to Delhi, Kashmir, and I realized that Chennai, formerly known as Madras, has played so much important role in the India's modern Indian history, starting from 1680s, then from Portuguese, passing on to the British, briefly passing on to the French, and then coming back to British again. This city has seen all in last 400 to 500 years, while the mainland India was being ruled by the Mughals or the British later in between French. But Chennai or Madras was always the melting pot of cultures because of it was a very important market, one of the biggest ports, even in the ancient times, as they say. And therefore, my landing up in Chennai actually opened a lot of interesting places to see, lot of interesting places to eat, and lot of interesting temples to visit and take blessings. So Kanchan, Chennai is an all-weather city and amazing place.
Well, when you mentioned about Chennai, I recall that I also visited the city very long time ago, and I really miss their sambar, vada, chutney, the kind of this flavor which I get in Chennai at that time, at that point of time. I have never tasted this dish again, though I lived in South India for many years.
Well, yes, Kanchan. So Chennai and food. The street food of Chennai, the regal food of Chennai, dosa. What we know in the rest of the India is actually said as dosai in Chennai, and a visit to a Sarvana Bhavan or Sangeetas or from the authentic biryani, one of the most authentic biryani, Talapakatti biryani, and lot of street food around in Chennai, including our North Indian puri and sabji, puri and vegetable curries. This is a place which is actually a very cosmopolitan, but the whole cosmopolitan wrapper of the Chennai city is surrounded or covered by a very deep Tamil culture and Tamil language, which is seen in its streets and the roads and its places and the buildings. And therefore it is you just fall in love with the language. And then we have our Talaiva Rajnikant also staying there.
Definitely. When you talk about the language, I think Tamil is one of the ancient language, and I think everybody in India, at least, should learn this language, because that gives a lot of profound traditional and cultural aspect which we learn along with the language. But when you mentioned Talaiva or Rajnikant, I also want to add here is that our dream girl Hema Malini also belongs to Chennai.
Well, Kanchan, now you are taking me back to such a nice and lovely and dreamful weekend to remember the dream girl Hema Malini. Why just stop there? Our Sri Devi, Rekha, and Kamal Hassan. Why do we forget him? And of course, the Tamil cinema greats M.G. Ramachandran and others. This is a place which is breathing in culture, breathing in the current industrialized country that we are. It is breathing in the ancient poets and the poems of Thiruvalluvar, the great poet. And this city is one of the best livable cities in India, and I am really proud of it.
Well, shall we start this description of Chennai for our audience, maybe from architecture, art and architecture, how people really think about their houses and buildings and how they react to the modern upcoming architecture?
Well, Kanchan, this place, if I go back in the 1600s, this was a few villages around, and there were local nayaks or the small kingdoms over there. From what we then learned from the Portuguese invasion of that place, and that brought to the Portuguese architecture the first. Then it was added with the Dravidian architecture mixed with the British architecture, and this city Chennai is having the most Dravidian plus British plus Portuguese architectural buildings across the Chennai metropolis or greater Chennai area. And for example, I remember Fort St. George and the St. Mary's Church, Santom Church, and there are several Paris building. I mean, there are some of the Higginbotham's bookstore, and including the modern places as well. Gindi Engineering College, IIT Madras. These are the places which are full of history, full of current life and times of people who live and work in Chennai.
When somebody planning to visit Chennai, because especially Chennai is a very hot city, and so what are the precautions and what is the best time to visit the city, and how long we can stay and really look around, even temples and all modern architecture, beaches. So how much we can stay, I mean, if somebody is planning to visit the city?
Well, Kanchan, Chennai gives the choice to the tourist what they want to see, how they want to see, and choose their own estimate, because Chennai binds you like anything. If it is about the temples, there are temples as old as 13th century temples are there in Mylapore area, and couple of very, very old temples are there which are very famous, very ancient, lots of belief by the local people. As I said, there is a church where they also say that, one hair of Jesus Christ is also kept over there. People believe that. People go to see it. And there are a lot of other, the religious angle, the religious pilgrimage places are there all around Tamil Nadu, and Chennai being the hub or the gateway to the South India. Now, if someone wants to see the history, person like me, history buff, I'm a history buff. So for me, there are lots of museums and lots of historical buildings. Just a walk down the lane makes you wonder and see some of those things and get a feeling what this city would have been by 1947, before 1947, by 1850s, and even going back all the way to the Portuguese time, including the French time in between 1846 to I think 1849. 3 years Chennai was with the French in the French occupation. So, Chennai celebrates, I think Chennai celebrates its year of modern birth. So I remember them celebrating somewhere around 350 or 368 birth year when I was there in Chennai for a few months. And when it comes to the modern Chennai, the cricket binds us all, and Chennai is home to some of the great cricketers. Venkat Raghavan, our former captain, Krishnamachari Srikanth, the part of the squad who won the 1983 World Cup. Then our Vishwanathan Anand, the chess champion, the chess great. And there are lots of sports happening in the city. Kanjivaram sarees, don't forget Kanchan. Please don't. And of course, food is lovely food.
Well, I also heard Sadhguru's ashram is also nearby Chennai. But I would just want to ask you, so people who want to visit with a religious point of view, what are the temples, if you can mention, in and around Chennai?
Well, Kanchan, this Parthasarathi temple is one temple. And since a lot of religions are staying there, Hinduism, Islamism, Christianity, there are temples from each of the faith. And as I said, there are some temples which are like as old as 13th of century. And I have seen a temple which has eight different avatars of Lakshmi, and very, very ancient temples. The names are little tricky to pronounce all of them. And I remember some temples have a prefix of Arul Migu. I'm really, I'm not sure what that means, but I must know that. And therefore, from the pilgrimage point of view, the whole Tamil Nadu state, Mahabalipuram is just a one-day visit from Chennai, and it has got its famous temples in Mahabalipuram, and therefore this city never falls to disappoint anyone, for that matter.
Well, coming to the food, we have already discussed, because you and I, we are foodies, we love food, we cook food at home. But for people who are coming outside of India, what is the cuisine Chennai offer?
Well, while in Chennai, you must, for any foreigner, all kinds of food is available. But to really enjoy the place, you must taste the local flavors, local spices, local preparations, local concoctions. And Chennai has plenty of them. Not just the very, very traditional South Indian food, but also the great biryani, Talapakati biryani, Ambur biryani. And this place, from a sweets perspective, this is an amazing culinary tradition in Chennai. And it is important to understand that you also get, even from India's perspective, there is a great, Sikh community in the city. Of course, a lot of Rajasthani traders are also there in the city, and a lot of people from Odisha are also there in the city, and you get all kinds of food in the Chennai city.
I would like to know, is it a beach paradise also, Madras, and what are the famous beaches?
Well, you just have to visit some of the old movies and even some of the new movies. World's second largest, longest, not largest, longest beach, Marina Beach, is there in Chennai. There are Elliott's Beach, and there are multiple beaches around the Chennai city. Our total beach size is around 20 kilometers, I would say, and lush golden sand beach, white sand beach is also there, though the cleanliness of it can be a question. But the people, the street vendors, the snacks, the food, the ambience, the statues around it, it's overwhelming, overwhelming.
Well, I know, I understand because I have visited the city. I can very well understand your point of view. But for people who have not visited the city, what you would like to tell them?
So, Chennai is, if you want to understand India, the modern India, you must stay in Chennai at least for one full week. You must roam around in Chennai, go to places, talk to people. There are some night walks in the city by some of the, some organizations, to see the city in the night, to see the city in the early morning, to see the city in the dawn, pre-dawn hours. And this city holds a lot of stories about the Southern Asia. And many of our listeners would be interested to know that during the World War I, Chennai was hit. Chennai was hit by the Germans, and that became our, participation in World War I during 1914 time. And also, I mean, not to forget, everybody knows about it, the Detroit of India. The India's 40% of the automotive business lies in Chennai. And one of the biggest ports, gateway to the South India, great culture, language as old as Sanskrit or even before that. And this city also, Kanchan, I am told, and I could feel that this city sleeps by 10:30 in the night. So nightlife, something that you need to really find out and explore and figure it out. And I think because the city keeps the Tamil language and the culture very, very close to its chest, and that's the reason that Chennai holds and carries the Tamil legacy like no other city in this country.
Well, in the end, I just want to ask you, how will you summarize this wonderful city and this cultural, traditional city in maybe 2 words or 3 words?
Chennai, Meri Jaan. That's it.
Well said, Sitesh, and it was so awesome to really discuss this city today. We'll be meeting again with another city in our next episode. Till then, bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, Kanchan. Thank you.